edition of Back Roads of Illinois. We were bringing you lasted for farming sources and information sponsored by AgriGold. This is the Markets Club podcast with Cesar Delgado. We will see for this futures markets for right now, but what's next for the cash markets for today's issue of the tariffs and demand. We were talking to our friend of the show, Ed Usset from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities on today. This has been the Markets Club podcast. We will see for this futures markets for right now, but what's next for the cash markets for today's issue of the tariffs and demand. We were talking to our friend of the show, Ed Usset from the University of Minnesota Twin Cities on today. Hey Ed, how are you in Minnesota?
Doing great, Caesar. We got a little rain. I'm looking outside my window, and it's kind of cooling down now. We're in the 40s, and my son's football team has their playoff game tonight. I think it's going to be a cold game to watch.
Great to hear that. Are you for fall?
We're deep into fall right now. The colors are beautiful.
Yeah, it is. I bet that you're unhappy with uncertainty in the cash markets for corn and beans, wheat. What is your concern about cash basin in the beans?
Well, the basis in the soybean market is not as bad as I thought it would get. Caesar, we pretty much finished up our soybean harvest. Hell, we were done with it probably almost a week ago. And what I thought was going to be a major problem of soybeans in Minnesota and the northern plains, the Dakotas, finding a space for all the soybeans. But you know what? I think we found it. I think the farmers found a place to put them. They're holding them off the market. The basis has actually firmed up. It's not a good basis. Let's not get confused. But I was seeing basis levels as low as 170, 180 under in parts of North Dakota, 100 under in parts of Minnesota. And we're 20, 30 cents better than that just a week or two later. And the soybean basis, we've got a couple of big soybean processors here in Minnesota. They were bidding 50, 60 under for nearby soybeans just a couple of weeks ago. I see they're now 20 under. So they're having a hard time getting the soybeans bought, and that's improving the basis.
Do you have some thoughts about the beans production? It's slower for next season in the Midwest.
Boy, you're already thinking about 2026. We'll turn our attention to that soon enough. I think we got to get done with corn harvest. But if you look ahead to next year, boy, that's a tough call. There are no good. The wheat market isn't worth a darn. Wheat prices are very low. That's not a good alternative in the year ahead. Soybean prices we know are not good. Not a good alternative in the year ahead. Corn prices are not good. This is going to be a tough choice. It's going to come down to, I think, producers' confidence in what they can get the highest yields. And that always seems to favor corn a little bit. But man, we've got a lot of corn acres this year.
Right. Ed, wait and see for next season.
Yeah.
How is the seasonal for cash corn markets, Ed?
Well, seasonally, We would expect, on average, prices in the spring, April, May, June are often, not always, but often higher than they are at harvest. We've got cash bids now in southwestern Minnesota, 360, 365. That's a pretty lousy price. If we could bank on an average seasonal, we might expect $4 cash corn next spring. But seasonal patterns are strong tendencies. They're not certainties, and certainly we've had years, not unlike a couple of years ago, where prices in the spring were lower than they were at harvest. I hate to think of that alternative, but I do think we'll see modestly better prices by spring.
How about the Minneapolis wheat HRW?
Hard red spring wheat in Minneapolis, which is misnamed now. It's the Miami Exchange, no longer the Minneapolis Grain Exchange where I traded. They just made new contract lows, I believe, earlier today. What a sick market. December wheat's under $5.50, cash prices under $5 a bushel. As much as we complain about the corn and soybean prices being down, in fact, they're well off their harvest lows. Corn in southwestern Minnesota is 30 cents off its harvest lows. Excuse me, not harvest lows, they're August lows. We made lows in the month of early in August. Soybean prices, cash prices of about $9.50 in southwestern Minnesota. That's 50 cents better than their lows in early August. But here in spring wheat country, we're looking at wheat prices, cash prices of $4.90 a bushel, and that's lower than we got in August of 2024, and basically as low as we've been. I guess maybe we were a dime lower when the basis was at its worst in September, but we're basically at our lows in spring wheat. We had another good crop, and you look worldwide, wheat more than any other, more than corn and soybeans, very influenced by many players worldwide. And you've got other players doing well. Argentina producing a good wheat crop, Australia doing well. It's hard to find a problem in the world of wheat.
Like as Miami Dolphins right in the spring wheat.
Yeah, yeah. The Dolphins, I'm sure, know a lot about spring wheat.
Um,
Do you have any final thoughts on the balance sheet for next year?
Well, we've talked some about wheat, some about soybeans, but sometimes I have to step back and just in awe of the corn market, where we've got a wonderful story on the demand side of corn. We're about to set a record on exports for the year ahead. I believe we're going to export more than 1 billion bushels of corn to Mexico this year. Incredible story there. The feed demand is strong, ethanol demand is humming, and yet prices are down because that's what you do when you find a few more million acres and you're about to set a record corn yield nationwide. 16.5 billion bushels of corn about to be produced, or we're harvesting it right now. And as good as the demand is, the supply is washing over it.
What is the story of the new crop?
The story is yet to be written. If you're talking about 2025 new crop, we've got the government shut down, no WASDE report, so people are grasping. What is the size of this crop? I think the sense is that the market sense anyway is that USDA's latest numbers in September are a little high on both corn and soybeans. That seems to be where people are going. Here in Minnesota, I think we have a good chance of averaging 200 bushels per acre or more in corn. The corn market, I hear some good things out there. Soybeans, you get this mixed message on diseases and things like that in the tail end. It's going to be a great crop. I think we'll set a record for Minnesota yields. I think we'll set a record for national yields, but we're not going to blow the top off those old records.
Yes. Thanks, Ed. I have a great conversation with you on today.
Thank you, Caesar. I always enjoy working with you.
Ed Usset from the University of Minnesota on this week of the Market Club podcast.